Hello there, people. Before I get into this, I just want to talk about a wee couple of things here. So this is for anybody new who's arriving at this platform and wondering what is actually going on with people in regards to questioning the shape of the earth that we live in, or live upon, should I say. So what I want to highlight here first and foremost is the obvious cartoonery of these images that people have so much investment in and believe to be real, right? People actually think this is where we live. So take a good look, people. And what's going on here? I mean, how large do these land masses do you think there actually is? That looks real. Looks very real. Oh, that's got nice bright lights. That must be real. Oh, stars in this one. There's no stars in this one. So, what I want to say to you, if you're new to this, first and foremost, science belongs to you, the individual. It's your approach to understanding the objective world you're living in. There's a methodology to that. It's referred to and known as a scientific method. In order for us to prove things to be objectively true to each other, we are duty bound to practically demonstrate any of the claims we are making in regards to the substances that we find in the objective world. Anybody making claims to any physical properties or substances in the objective world, and they cannot demonstrate the claims they are making in any practical fashion, no excuses allowed, then they must be ignored. It must be removed from being called and classed science. So what we have to ask ourselves is, do we put ourselves up there to contort our mind and get through mental gymnastics in order to, accept and adopt an image over our practical, demonstrable reality that we all share? The answer has to be no. An image in no way, shape or form is measurable scientific proof of anything, especially when your images are cartoons. That's what these are. These are cartoons, okay? They are not actual photographs of people being in space, looking at the earth as a whole and snapping a picture. It's ridiculous. So what we have to look at here is, first and foremost, we're looking at a ball which is 70% covered in liquid. Okay, we know beyond any shadow of doubt that it's impossible to get any body of liquid to display this type of behaviour. Bodies of liquid, demonstrable fact of your everyday existence, do not have the ability to support themselves and conform to the exterior of any shape and object. Bodies of liquid will take the shape of any container they are in, and the surface will be horizontal, level from every point to the other. If not, the body of water will start to flow. That's what a river is, okay? So again, we have to look at the fundamental substances, the aspects of reality, and see what they tell us. We do not try to rewrite physics and the physical properties of substances on Earth to try and make them fit an image. That's back to front. Okay, if the image is depicting something that's fallacious, that does not match observed and tested reality, the image must be ignored. So you have to understand that an image is in no way, shape or form scientific measurable proof of anything. Secondly, we live in a pressurized environment. Okay, now you cannot have zero pressure here, or no pressure, or lack of pressure, and create a pressurized environment around a rock. It's absolutely absurd and preposterous. Again, we resort to physics, we resort to actual scientific method, and there is millions, billions of people understand and apply this knowing every single day. They just don't realize that they're suspending it and suspending it in favor of a belief and a religious symbol, that being this. Okay, so first and foremost, we live in pressure. We go to physics. How do we create pressure? We need a container. Okay, so even if you want to still believe that the Earth's a ball, that you're still being lied to, okay? Because in order for there to be any air pressure around this spherical rock, there must be a containment on the outside, especially if somebody is telling you there's another medium beyond your pressurized environment. Okay, there has to be a solid separation, or there would be no air pressure here. Okay, so these two fundamental facts, coupled with the fact that there is absolutely no measurable curvature anywhere, should be telling you a lot. All right, now as you can see here, these are cartoons. This is what's been shown to you since you were a child, right through your adult life, in the media, in your education system, in movies, in music videos, everywhere. This religious cartoon symbol has been shown to you, and it's been told to you that that's where you live. I'm here to tell you that's not where you live. It's impossible for you to be living there, based purely on just those two fundamental facts, physical facts about our known reality, that totally debunk this idiotic notion that that's where you live. Okay, so you may be asking yourself then, all right, so your titles are flat earth. What does that then mean? That then means what? You think I live on a pizza with something like an edge? Let's have a wee look. So we go from cartoons of a spherical globular earth, and people jump automatically to these idiotic cartoons, which are just as preposterous and absurd. We still have flat pizza dishes flying about in space. Nobody here makes claims to any of these things being objectively true. The stance here is that this nonsense is provably false. So being realists and being born into captivity within a cult, the stance here is that we do not know the full dimensions. The only way to resolve it is by full exploration. Okay? We do not represent any of these idiotic cartoons. The flat here does not mean flat like a billiard table, like this image depicts. Okay? We have land masses which are elevated from the liquid level. If the place is 70% liquid, this depicts it nicely. Okay? From each and every point of the ocean, because there is one ocean and they're all joined, it has to be level. That's what we know and we understand in physics. We apply this knowledge every single day. Okay? So, if you're quite prepared to contort your mind and ignore physical reality for an image, then you should also be quite prepared to believe stuff like this. This is how idiotic it gets. People are suspending science and the real scientific method, and they're trying to warp it and contort it in order to fit with images. So if you're prepared to believe in images like that as scientific measurable proof, you must then be open to believing any image that is produced for you. Okay? Because that's the logic, that's the reasoning that you're adopting and applying. It doesn't matter that there's institutions professing that they are wise and technologically advanced and get into this vacuum of space to produce these cartoon images for you. It doesn't matter. Okay? You're opening yourself up, and you must accept that this nonsense is real. It's just the same nonsense. It's cartoons. Okay? Same again. Well, that looks real. We've got a moving video. Man of Steel. There we go. Must be real. I see it in a video. Right. We'll move on to satellites. Again, you will notice these are cartoons. Every single one of them is a cartoon. Now, if we have objects high in the sky, which there may very well be that are being utilised for whatever reason, for carrying signals, then fair dues, I am quite prepared to accept that. What I'm not prepared to accept is that people are sending these wee tin can objects from our pressurised environment through a non-existent barrier that, you know, dissipates slowly into this vacuous, empty space. It's absolutely absurd and preposterous. So any objects that are moving about in the sky, I can guarantee you they are within our pressurised environment. They're no, and if there is something outside another environment adjacent to your pressurised environment, there will be a solid separation between them. If you don't believe me, I suggest you go and look at applied physics and understand that the absurdity of the claims that are being made to you. Okay, so let me just have a wee look here. This, again, going back to my 2 points, this abundant substance proves beyond any shadow of doubt that it's an absurd, idiotic belief that you have that you live on the exterior of this nonsense. And just as this quite rightly says, water in the lake, water in the sea, water in the pool, water in a glass, water in a classroom. And this is the difference. These things are practical, they can be demonstrated. What you see here is a plastic toy, and we have all sorts of sophisticated language, that being mathematics, that has been used to try and describe and explain away physical reality in order to make people believe in absurdities, that being this nonsense here. Okay, it's very simple. This is how liquids behave. This is not how they behave. Okay, these are facts of your everyday existence. So what is going on in the sky in regards to the luminaries, the sun, the moon, the stars? Nobody knows. Nobody has been to them. Nobody knows what they actually are and where they actually are. And I have to add that they do not offer anything measurable about the dimensions of the earth you stand upon. This substance can be depended upon, can be tested, known and applied by every single person alive. It tells everybody beyond any shadow of a doubt that they are living in a level contained system. Same with the pressure. You need a containment to create pressure. Very, very simple. And it's as simple as that. Okay? So, again, this is where people believe they live. This is what people accept as science. And what we have is sophisticated language trying to describe and warp people's minds and subdue them into believing this nonsense because they are browbeaten and think that it's only sophisticated, high intelligence men and women with special degrees and pats in the back and honours from, you know, their professed, you know, institution of education telling them that they're wise and wonderful. It's absolute nonsense. Science does not belong to any institution. It belongs to you, the individual. It's up to you to discern and understand your reality for yourself, not to be browbeaten and dictated to by media and education about where you are. Because this is blatant nonsense. It's the only thing they ever offer you. Okay? So, just bear with me a wee second here, see if there was anything else I was going to show. So, how are we doing, people? So I know that I've got that out the road. Again, you know, I'm more than welcoming to anybody who still thinks and wants to believe that they're living on the exterior of a nature-defying rock, pressurised, gaseous, water-covered rock zipping through a vacuum at untold speeds, 1,000 miles an hour on its axis, 65,000 miles an hour around the sun, while the sun travels at 500,000 miles an hour. If you want to believe that, fine. If you want to come and push that nonsense onto people like us, you are going to be pushed to practically demonstrate the absurd claims that this globe wants to make. It's preposterous. But again, I'm always going to be welcome and open to people, but you will be pushed for practical demonstrations in order to prove your case. You cannot, and I can tell you cannot, because people like myself who are honest and done the work and the research and dug deep. Again, I believed I lived in a globe. I assumed it would be true. I tried desperately to prove to myself that it was real. I failed miserably. I had to go over the emotional and psychological process and realising that I had been told a pack of lies. The people will ask, what is the motive? Why are these people dying then? Oh, and everybody has to be in it. Again, I was not in it. The majority of the people here were not in a lie. This is how a cult works. This is how brainwashing works. You don't have to be in on it. You just have to assume it's true. Although your whole practical reality, everyday lived life, is screaming at you, telling you it's absurd.